Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Golf Podcast Live. I'm your host, Raphael Calamat, along Michael Bleakley, who's in Vancouver. I'm in Toronto. This is episode 105. It's brought to you by Paradox Golf, our new partner. Thank you to Jeff Hanning, Castilla Roofing, Mike Kelly out there in Florida, Lagmaster Sports, Mike Dickson, Shape and Swelter, our new sponsor, Rob Snyder. Welcome to the podcast family. And of course, yours truly, Raphael Golf Academy and Evolve Creative Solutions. This is an exciting weekend. How was your weekend, Mike?
It was fast. It was a great weekend. Played golf twice, so loving that. Had a decent round on Saturday, and I played like a fool today. So back to reality, and watched a bit of President's Cup. It's always great to see match play in action. Friday's matches were pretty amazing for the international fans. We really felt like we had a shot at this thing after getting drummed on day
On
one.
Thursday. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
No,
But yeah,
I'm pretty excited, Mike. Two things. Today's the Paradox Golf carton bag contest. So we're going to get that logo up. We're going to talk about the product as well. So this is really exciting. If you're watching right now, we're going to be doing that giveaway for Paradox Golf, as well as, like you said, Mike, the President Cup. It's held every second year since 1994. I was going to say the Canadians, but the internationals have only won it once. And this year, the Americans reigned victorious once again for the 10th consecutive competition. They're 13th overall with a result of 18 and a half to an 11 and a half matches. I think that says it all, doesn't it?
if anyone is noticing the title of the episode, we're episode 105 of the Golf Podcast Live, and
Yep.
I'm saying, is the President's Cup doomed? Because it's the U.S. show, right? And obviously, being Canadians, we grow up watching American sports. It's part of us, so we're very well bonded with American players. I'm huge fans of them, most of them. But obviously, we're in Canada. 25% of the team is Canadian, and we're really pulling for it. Like with Mike Weir coaching, Corey Connors, Taylor Pendrith, Mac Hughes, they're all pumped to play. It's a very dismal performance, barring Friday's matches. All the Canadians lost in the singles. I was hoping for a lot more out of it. So I was really jacked to see the international team succeed this time around, and they didn't. So is this just, a lot of people I talked to were bored, that they didn't find the golf that compelling. And the questions around is the cup doomed? I would hate to lose another match play event because it's a lot of fun to watch. But if it's just the American show over and over and over, it's not going to be very compelling golf.
Mike, I'm going to slightly disagree with you. I thought it made
Okay.
for exciting golf. I believe it's because we're rooting for the internationals, right? Watching Thursday, I kind of gave up hope as well. I was kind of taken back that we lost so badly at 5-0. And then for them to come
Mm-hmm.
back, that was exciting. That brought back all those juices of watching golf. Like outside of the four majors, I think the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup do a very good job. Obviously, playing at Royal Montreal Golf Club, the oldest club in North America, a wonderful course. As you know, Mike, I was assistant professional
Mm-hmm.
there, and it's a wonderful place. I thought some of the players were just outstanding. And I think today we're going to talk about, things that really stood out to us, or, observations that we made watching this tournament. Great comments about poutine and the French culture and music, and lots of talk about Tim Hortons and Timbits. So that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Siwoo Kim put on a great show. I love to watch him, especially watching him chip in, or Homa on Sunday, holing in on the first hole. And then you got someone like Scheffler holding from the sand also on the first hole on Sunday. Yeah, like with Wyndham Clark and the comments, I think there was a lot of things to for this to be memorable and for it to be a great event. I saw the camaraderie on the international and American team like I've never seen before. So that was really exciting to see. Your thoughts on some of the observations, Mike?
Um, I did enjoy Kevin Kisner and Camilo Villegas having words
Yep.
after after one of the players left the green early.
Mm,
Well, Scotty Scheffler was there putting by himself, so Kiz called it straight. I loved seeing that. Siwoo Kim hitting that flop shot from the side of the hill. It was a great moment. Um, just on a day that the internationals are riding fantastic momentum, that really capped it off. Um, but yeah, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of the event. I jumped in for segments here, 30, 40 minutes at a time. So, and I got to admit, I wasn't enthralled. As you are when you're knee deep in a tournament and you're watching hours and hours, you get emotionally attached to the match, and you can feel the momentum and I found. What I was watching was not all that exciting because I was really pulling for the internationals. So, admittedly, there I was just disappointed that we didn't make it closer. Right, we really got
yep.
drummed by the end of it.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. There were just so many amazing moments. I loved watching Wyndham Clark, especially someone like Byung Hun An, who played so well. Um, they really spoke highly of each other. I saw the camaraderie, and the team competition is just different. And the crowd was really great and amazing. The weather cooperated, which this time of year could be iffy in Montreal.
Hmm.
Come end of September, and the sun came out. um, I'm always amazed that when I look at someone like Cantlay, it
Hmm.
almost like he has no clue what the word celebration means. It just the guy's
He's very
real
flat.
patty ice, right?
Yeah, he's earned
Uh,
that name. He's very flat. He was clutch. I did watch him for a bit over the weekend. He holds some great putts, and he's always been clutch in big
mm,
moments. He's got a sixth gear in the bag that he's able to instigate and get into a match. Um, so he was a solid player. Look what he did the Ryder Cup last year, arguably one of the top players for the U.S. So. Um, and again, I think we were missing some of the players who are
yep,
not there. Some of the live players. It would have been great to see Cam Smith out there
yep,
and DeChambeau or whoever. DeChambeau would have probably been on the team. I think that's a safe bet. Out of the Americans, we might have seen DJ or some of these characters out there that are, I think add a presence around the American team, the locker room and all that. Not that they didn't need any more presence, but um, I think it would have been a little more compelling if some of the bigger names in golf were there.
yep. You mentioned Cantlay. He's by far one of the cornerstones of the American team, and you can't deny his good playing.
Hmm.
He was just stoic and stellar. If I was going to use two words, Sunday, Xander Schauffele, what a pairing they make. And but my favorite match by far, I'm still marveling on the first match on Friday when Hideki Matsuyama and Sung Jae Im played together, and they just walloped Shoffley and Cantley 7-6. It's a
Hmm.
not only President's Cup record, but it's also a Ryder Cup record in team play. They were just so amazing, and this is after the U.S. swept them on the opening day. There was a lot of speculation on what Mike Weir and even Mackenzie Hughes said to the team, and they didn't want to give it away. But basically, they were just really pumped. They didn't let their spirits get down on them, and that match was just unbelievable. And Hideki, what a player. I saw him in a different light. I never see him with emotion because he's sort of like the
Hmm.
Japanese Cantlay, right? He's kind of emotionless, but you can see him fist
Yeah,
pumping, and you can see how much it
it was
actually
great.
meant to him.
I
Another
did see a lot of
storyline.
that. Yeah, very
Go,
cool. No, go on.
yeah, another storyline I was thinking about was Adam Scott, and he's played in so many of these. I think this is his 11th, 10th or 11th President Cup, and for him to not walk away, with a victory, it's kind of sad, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, does he have another one in him? You think he's played 11, so that's over 22 years. Um,
Well,
he's got to be a bit annoyed being have played on so many of them, and with really good teams. We talked about this last week that on paper they stack up really good. Arguably, maybe the internationals have an edge, but when it comes down to it, there's just something with this event that the Americans are able to steamroll the international teams. And like I said, even if those live players were on the team, Cam Smith, I don't think it would have mattered.
yeah,
The Americans just they have it. The closest the international came to winning was in South Africa when um, Jack and Ernie decided to declare a tie because they ran out of light.
yeah,
Right. So if I
I
was Ernie,
remember
I'd be
that.
like, "No, we're coming back in the morning. We're going to finish." You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Mike,
Right.
hey Mike, we're gonna get your mic a little bit up, or I'm gonna have you speak up a little bit. We're gonna again, hold on, guys, because we've got our Paradox contest winner. And what is Paradox, guys? It's a pull cart and a bag built in together, and it's an amazing, amazing concept brought to you by Jeff Hanning out in California, and we're thrilled to partner with them and talk about the product and show the product over the next couple of weeks and months to come. And we're going to give it away today. We'll see if we're going to be able to pop up a pic or maybe a vid of it. But before we do that, again, thanks to Paradox Golf, Castilla Roofing, Lagmaster Sports, Shape and Swelter, and Evolve Creative Solutions. I'm saying thank you. And I want you guys to remember, we've done over 100 episodes. We're at 105, which means we've had a lot of great guests. And it goes without saying that we're really thankful for all your support. Those of you who watched us, we're not trying to sell you anything. We just want to say thank you. And I'm going to read out a list of people who've been on the show. You could go back on YouTube or on our social media and see these great interviews and talks with some of the top people in the industry. So I'll just start off by saying thank you to Mark Immelman, Dottie Pepper, Todd Lewis, Matt Adams, Gary Williams, John Cook, Rob Labritz, Tim Petrovic, Greg Ducharme, Omar Uresti, a lot of Champions Tour players, people from the Golf Channel, Five Clubs Golf, CBS, Michael Collins, Richard Zokol, Mike McAllister, Dubs Anderson, and Mark Zucchino. And the list goes on, so bear with me. Rick Young, Greg Chalmers, Alan Shipnuck, Jay Delsing, Robert Ball, John Feinstein, Jim McLean, Lisa Cornwell, Tucker Booth, Mark Baldwin, Billy Mayfair, Len Matisse, Hope Barnett, Eddie Fernandez. As I'm reading these, Mike, I'm sometimes forgetting all the people that have been on. Brian Cooper, Rick Furr, Craig Can, Vince Cellini, Michael Whalen, Ian Leggett, Lisa Vlusik, Diane Knox Ballas, Adam Scully. And if we missed anybody, you know who
Well,
you
you did.
are.
Yeah, you missed. I can't believe the list as you read that, and like there's people that you forgot. Obviously, there's 105 guests, so but that's very impressive. I gotta pinch myself every once in a while with this guest list that we've got, and yeah, thanks to everybody who's come on.
And being patient with us because we throw out those requests to a lot of people by email, through social media, and through some of our contacts. So thank you for responding, getting back to us. And we love talking golf. Mike and I spent our lives in golf and in many different shapes and forms. Myself being instructor, Mike being in the digital space, as well as being a top amateur golfer. So we're really thankful for doing the show and having all these people on and having the game grow through us. Um, So we're just going to get up our Lagmaster Sports logo up to say thank you to Mike Dickson, who's done so much for us. So we've actually done a few contests with him. And make sure you check out his website with all his teaching tools. He has a free newsletter that goes out every week. And you could always get your web building audit through Evolve Creative Solutions, which is very exciting. Mike, we're going to hold on a few more minutes before we give away the contest, and the bag, and a few more notes on the event itself. The President's Cup, it has a special place in my heart. Obviously, it's in Canada. It's at Royal Montreal Golf Club. It was a great event, in my opinion. It wasn't as exciting as we thought, or as close as we wanted it to be, because it would have been great if there was just a 1 or 2 point differential. But certainly, it's tough. And looking forward towards when we're going to see the Americans again will be Bethpage for the Ryder Cup next year. And the atmosphere, which I thought would be in Canada, it was rowdy. It was a lot of fun with the chanting, the Canadian anthem, Mackenzie Hughes downing that beer on the first tee. But I believe in New York, it's going to be a carnival atmosphere.
100%. The New Yorker crowd is a lot more vocal than humble Canadians, although we talked about the Quebecers are a little bit different, a little closer to the New Yorkers, very outspoken. As you said, there was a lot of people being tossed out for heckling and whatnot at the President's Cup this weekend. But yeah, the Ryder Cup's going to be a sweet event with introducing the younger captains, the generation of younger captains. Keegan Bradley being 38 years old, maybe 39 by that time, but it's already sparking talk that Justin Thomas and some of these, 30 somethings could be considered to be captains of these teams, right? Like you look at what happened at the last Ryder Cup with Zach Johnson's decisions. We can critique that for an hour, but I think that it's opening up the door. If Keegan does well next year, we might see JT running the next Ryder Cup team. Who knows?
I agree. There's so many highlights and observations I'd like to make about this event. It was great to see Ernie Els out there for the internationals. You had Immelman out there with the team. You had the iconic Xander Schauffele smoking his cigar. You had the Keegan Bradley story after watching the whole Netflix episode, him missing out on the Ryder Cup and then giving his wife a hug and having the winning point for the President's Cup team. So that was a great heartfelt story. Moving on to Bethpage, where he's going to be obviously the captain, maybe a playing captain. He's kind of undecided. They've already started asking those questions. And there's no doubt who's the number one player in the world. He is absolutely stellar and stoic. If there's anything to be said about the number one player in the world. And then, of course, I wish we were closer. Not since 1998 has the international team won. It was 20.5 to 11.5, and they never won again. So are we going to be talking about this like the Canadian Open when Nick Taylor wins after all those years? It's going to be like in 100 years where, or people are talking about changing up the format, getting females involved. I think they should keep it the way it is. The international team is developing. They're playing for the Shield. There's a lot of problems through communication, I think, amongst team members. But I saw real camaraderie, and it looked like this team was getting along great.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't see any need to blow up the format. I think they could make subtle tweaks on how they go about captain's picks. They could make adjustments, and I don't believe it was a lopsided matchup. I believe the international team they could have easily won 18-12, and no one would have been surprised. Right? The Americans have a handful of standout players. Scotty Scheffler, obviously, to be one. Xander played fantastic in the singles. But it wouldn't have been a surprise that you say you had Matsuyama against Scheffler. You wouldn't be surprised if Matsuyama won. You would not shock anybody if any of those international players knocked out America's top players. It wouldn't have been a surprise at all. So it's just golf. It comes down to making putts and riding momentum. The U.S. did a good job of silencing the crowds, especially on the
Mm,
Sunday. They really, made a few birdies out there and just shut the crowds up. So that's part of it. Is keeping that momentum and that energy that a boisterous crowd will deliver to the team. So it's the way it went. The Americans were just a little bit sharper, got a few more putts in, and most of these types of matches comes down to making putts.
yeah.
And we all know how difficult that is. There's no guarantee that you're going to make a putt, no matter how short it is. There's anything can happen.
Well, let's get that Paradax pick up. It's that time. We're going to get the Paradax logo up, and we're going to try to pick our contest. I want to thank everyone who participated, both on X and on IG. A wonderful product. You can see the pick right now. That bottom wheel pops out of the bottom of the bag. The other two wheels come off. It folds up, and you can put it in the side bags. And then you have the push handle, which is just incredible. I can't wait, and ours is on its way, so I can't wait to get ours, Mike. Let's get
I've
that.
got it. It's arrived. It's in my garage.
Oh yeah, great,
Yeah,
great.
it did show up. So I'm going to
Let's get that.
unbox it.
Yep.
And I'm going to do a side by side with my current setup, which is the Click Gear 4.0 cart
Well, we're going to do
in
a
a
little vid
Titleist
with you,
bag.
Mike. Mike, we're going to
So
get somebody to
yeah,
record a little vid of you unpacking it, or on the golf course with it. Let's get that Paradax logo up, because we're ready to announce. And I'm going to leave you with this. I loved the President's Cup. I thought it was amazing. I would love the format to be a little tighter. And I think the Champions Tour, the Champions World Cup has it right. Last year, they started a format where it's 9-hole play instead of 18, right? All the same types of matches. And they have 3 teams mixed in. So you have the internationals, the Euros, and the Americans. And that's, to me, that's pretty exciting. The matches are quicker. It's and everything happens a lot faster, so there's a good pace to it. And I'm just going to leave you at that.
yeah,
It's
okay,
very exciting.
yeah, good idea. Okay, so shall we pick the winner?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so I've already set this up, and we're going to contact this person here by the name of Kai Valdez Pitts. Congratulations, you have won this sweet bag. I'm going to send you a message on IG, and you'll have 1 week to get back to us. And because your account's private, I can't see you right now, but I can send you a message. And I'm doing that right now. So I'll send you our email, and you can respond back to us, and we'll make arrangements to get this bag shipped to you.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, that's pretty exciting. It's a great way to kind of finish off this show and talk a little bit President's Cup. Give a special thanks to our sponsors. Thank the people that have come on, and do something for those of you who listen to us and watch us. We want to do more of these giveaways. We just partnered up with Shape and Swelter, Rob Snyder, who's out in Washington, with a really, really great product. And basically, it makes your hat feel like it's new. And it's a cap system where you've never seen anything like it. Basically, you don't need to wash your cap. You just need to wash the liner that gets put inside the cap. So it's a personal hygiene, reusable sweat pads that are inside of your cap. And that's really great. We're going to be giving away those as well. and it'll be a 3-pack, and we'll be doing that over the holiday season, along with a lot of other giveaways, obviously with Lagmaster Sports and Mike Dickson, top 100 PGA professional in the US. We're going to be giving away some lessons with yours truly, myself, Raphael. If you're in the Toronto or Greater Toronto area, make sure you go to my website, and you could actually just send me a message, and we'll book a lesson. And if you're in Florida, there's a gentleman named Mike Kelly who will do a free estimate on your roof. He specializes in golf communities and clubhouses. So wherever you are in Florida, give Castilla Roofing a call, check out their website, and make sure you ask for Mike Kelly at castillaroofing.us, shapeandswelter.com for the cap system. Guys, hold on. We got a few more announcements. And as well as ECS, get a free website audit. It's hard to get stuff for free today. All you need to do is fill out your name, your email, your phone number, and your website, and they'll do a free audit for you. That's ecsagency.com. And I'm over at raphaelgolf.square.site. And who am I missing? Mr. Lagmaster, lagmastersports.com. And you can get your free newsletter. I get it every week with all my new swing tips. It helps me as a coach and as an instructor. I think he gives me these new ideas, things to work with. And so a great software system also for putting mastery that he has to improve your setup, create consistent strokes, and make more putts, which everybody wants, Mike. So thank you for listening and watching today. Make sure you follow us and share the cast, and go back and watch our other episodes. They're very exciting and insightful with all the guests that I mentioned earlier. If you missed out on who I mentioned, just go back. This episode is only less than 30 minutes today. And I'm excited, Mike. Moving forward, we've got a lot of announcements to make, and we're going to be creating content like you've never seen before. 2025 is going to be a huge year.
Yeah, lots of great content coming up, some competitions, some really fun stuff. So looking forward to getting into that. And again, congrats to Kai Valdez Pitts. We've sent you a message on Instagram, so you got 1 week to get back to us, or we will put this bag up for another contest.
That's right.
And we'll give it away to a sweet winner. So again, yeah, thank you for everyone for participating, and follow us, engage, especially YouTube. Hit subscribe on that channel. We're trying to get those numbers moving. And yeah, thanks a lot, everybody.
All right, thanks everyone. For Michael Bleakley, I'm Raphael Calmat.